I have to see if they're working, remove data, etc., etc. The cameras, same thing. If they work, I'll sell them working. If they're not working, parts only. Same with the Samsung and the tablets as well. So never found a DS in one of these tubs before, so that's pretty cool. This week, there's been some more interesting developments in the business. And if you've been watching over the last couple of weeks, I've been doing a lot to help the business grow, and we've been seeing the results really come to life. Now, this week, I really just want to focus on talking about more changes that have been happening and also some of the adjustments that I've had to do. Some of this has been me reacting to some situations, really good situations and really great opportunities, which you'll see very soon. There's also been a lot more stock come in, which is also a really good thing to have. Like, it's a good problem to have more stock coming in, and it opens up many more opportunities, but there is a bit of a cost to that, which we're going to discuss today as well. But really this week's just really focusing the juggle between doing BAU tasks, which is business as usual, but also planning and preparing the business to be ready for some smoother operations as I continue to grow and leverage different opportunities that I have at play at this point. So that's what we're getting in today. What's going on, folks? Welcome back to the channel. Really do appreciate you being here. If you are new here, my name's Chris and I'm building a business that suits my lifestyle. Now, as I just said, this week's video is going to be continued to share and document what I've been doing on the day-to-day in my business. So we'll be jumping into the vlog in a minute, but for me, I just wanted to set some context for the video. When you hit a moment of growth, and I've done this a number of different times, I've seen growth come at really random times. Sometimes it was unexpected, like this one. Like, I knew it was coming, I knew I wanted to come, but sometimes these things come a lot quicker than we expect. But when you do have these moments of growth, or they're jumping into growth, the business itself struggles to be in sync with what is happening. And what I mean by that is myself and the business struggle to be in sync. So me trying to make sure everything's happening on the day-to-day while trying to do all the other things to ensure that the business is maintaining or staying at pace with the speed that I'm seeing. It's a bit of a trap. And I think some of the points around this is that there's, it's a bit of a struggle to be able to list quick enough with the stock coming in. Also not being able to match the output to store the input of stock that's coming in, but also space becomes a bit of an overwhelming and productivity is then at expense. And this has happened before. Every time that I've gotten to the next level or I've taken a growth jump, from the first time I had my biggest deal, I didn't have the space to do it, but I took it and I made a way to make it happen. And then there was a time when I purchased someone else's storage unit where I got 10,000 media items. Again, didn't have the means to make it happen, but I said yes and figured it out. And that's a really good famous quote from Richard Branson, actually. It's like, if a good opportunity comes along, is say yes and then figure out how to do it. It then also changed when I got my first storage unit. And then when I started to redesign my business model, focusing on a lot more wholesale and clothing, and then bringing on staff, and then having a second storage unit, and now a third storage unit, and now some more opportunities that have come to life, and so on. So this week, that is the core focus. And if you stick around to the end, I will be chatting about some of the lessons that I've learned from the week and some of the takeaways. But of course, I'll take you through all the financials, where we're at for March, and provide you that transparency as well. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, there is timestamps down below. Let's dive into the vlog. Folks, it's Monday and it's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful morning, actually. It's not even 8 a.m. yet. And we've got a big week. We've got a big day per usual. Monday's always my busiest day. Why I like to call it Massive Monday. But the main focus for today is, well, if you didn't catch up in my previous video last week on Monday when I released it, basically I had a call from my Storage King manager saying that the storage unit that's currently next to my 2 has come available. And the third one that I got the other week is actually, it's about 70 meters from my current 2. Anyway, it was a bit spontaneous. Those people left that were next to mine, and they said, I'm more than welcome to relocate into the one next to mine. It's going to be a bit closer. It's actually got the power right next to it as well. So I'm heading in early to do all that, to get that sorted, to see if I can actually make any of that movement today. So that's the first thing we're going to do. We've got about, I think it must be about 45 orders going out. Could be less or more than that, I can't remember, but it's probably about 60 items. There were some multi-quantity purchases. We have done another solid week. We've done around $5,150. I can put it up on screen. Can't remember off the top of my head, which is just incredible. Lots of clothes, lots of collectibles. Had someone come through and purchase 8 items of clothing yesterday, like last night. So that, look, it's been very rewarding and very encouraging to see those results happening. Obviously the consistency of listing and the better product is really really paying off. But for the rest of the week, we've got a few other things. I've got a big stock delivery of clothing, so that's just the bread and butter stuff. I'm actually out of office on Wednesday. The whole day I'm doing a Backpack for Vic Kids delivery drop off, so that's all the way up in the middle of Whoop Whoop. Doing that with my mate Ingo, and yeah, then Thursday and Friday we'll kind of just be back in the business, doing a few things on the business as well. So it's a big week, folks. Let's get to the storage unit. Back already. I actually forgot to mention, I also have a washing drop off today of a whole bunch of North Face and fleece. And the other thing is that we've got to do today is I got to start to sort all the stuff. Well, not today, this week. I got to sort all the stuff that I got from Retro Rescuers last week. There's about probably 400 items, I reckon. Half of that is clothing. So if I can get that sorted, it means I can have my photographer starting to do some of that. Some of that will need to go to washing as well. So there is plenty of things happening today. So yeah, anyway, let's go. All right, so today's focus will probably be these. Photographer's going to be doing this, and we're still getting obviously a lot of it back as well. I sold a lot of these books over the weekend, so that's going to be great to go through. This is just my little personal that I have here. They're going out today as well. And then in here, let me just pull this out. And in here, we've got lots of clothes going out. We did sell one of those ties for $140 to France, actually. I've got to send out some Pokemon stuff from the winners last week. Sorry for the delay, folks. And just going to get set up in here. We have hit a new milestone as well. We're so close to hitting 49,000, but as you can see here, we're at 48,982. We've got 39 orders, but there's probably actually, jeepers, there must be about 60 items going out. I'm going to get this pick-packed and ready to post while I wait till 9 o'clock, and then I'm going to go to see my storage manager and sort out unit number 3, which is essentially this one just there. My one is all the way down the end and then to the right, so that's going to be a big time saver. Lots happening. Let's get all the stuff, we'll put it out here, and then I'll maybe show you a couple of things here and there. So let's do it. All right, we've got so much stuff going out, guys. We've got Lego, we've got tires, we've got brand new inbox mice from the 90s, we've got cars, we've got Lego galore, lots more Lego over here. We've got Reselling, we've got all the books going out. Some of these have been multi-quantity purchases. One person's come along and purchased 8 pairs of clothes. I've got a few multi-purchases here, but this is just mainly clothes. We've got a June game, more toys, some iPods, some more electronics, some Lego. We've got a bit of everything. Oh, even in this guy as well. So lots happening, lots going out. Solid week. I'm happy with this. I'm going to start to pack up a few things. Might show you a few things as I go, but really I'm just going to get packing. It's 8:42. Got 15 minutes or 20 minutes till the storage manager's here, so I'm going to see what I can do. Alright folks, packaging is going well, about halfway through. We've got Drew on the background. How you doing, Drew? Good news is I now have moved unit number 9 to unit number 3, which is right here. So let's have a sticky peek. Oh, beautiful. It's bigger, same price as well. So now I'm going to take everything from down there and put it in here. And just like that, everything was in here. This is not how it's going to be. Just have to get it out for today so they can use the other one for someone else. But now I need to plan how this will be productive, but also for storage. But that's for a different time, either later today or down the track. For now, it's just storing stock. Folks, the postage is all done, quite a lot. I did get the washing delivery as well. This is all North Face fleece jackets. I have started to actually sort through some of the clothing that came from Retro Rescuers as well. Just been putting it into different piles and getting that into somewhat of some sense of what's there. For me now, I'm gonna have some lunch and then figure out what's next priority. So, gonna take a breather. All right, team. I've basically finished all the books that are worth doing. It's a big bundle of books here that I'll probably just, I don't know, they'll either go to donation or just make a bundle up or something. But these are all now listed, all the good stuff, just the higher ASP things. Now I've got to decide if I'm going to get into, this is all video game guides and Pokemon books. Otherwise, I might see if I can find some quick wins in here, in the big dark cave. There's a bunch of stuff in here. We've got, you won't be able to see this because it's too dark. There's some pop vinyls in here, there's some Goosebumps, there's a few other big backs and bits and bobs in here. I don't have lighting in here yet, so yeah, let's see. I'm actually pretty tired, to be honest. Let's see. All done for the day, folks. Got all these all flat laid. These were the ones that were out here, and got the postage all ready to go out. That's getting picked up, and we're done for today. I've got more stock arriving tomorrow for something different, and it's never a dull day. Anyway, that's it for Monday. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
And just like that, it was Tuesday. Quick little thing I want to say is thank you for all the comments about saying, you know, having the camera in the wrong place, and because I am very active when I talk. I have moved the camera here. I'll try and do better and make sure it's always here. Sometimes I just totally forget and put it over here because it's easier. Anyway, so today is Tuesday, and it's another interesting day. For me, today, Tuesday, well, usually it's just at the shop. Now, Tuesday, my staff don't work. Sorry, my photographer doesn't work, which is okay. But this morning, I do have the arrival of more clothing. And I think one of the big topics that I kind of want to address, because I have been asked it a few times, is like, especially in the last week, with all the stuff I've been sharing about the big lot that I got from Old Man Collects and the big lot that I got from Retro Rescuers, and you know, I've got so much stock. You've seen it in the third storage unit. Like, there is a lot. Now I wanted to address, why am I still buying more stock if that's, you know, if I don't need more stock? Well, the reason why is because I need more stock in terms of clothing, because my photographer does and my lister does 80% of all the clothing process, meaning the only thing they're really not doing is the actual posting of it. So I need to make sure that I've got enough clothing for them to continue to progress. My lister's also doing non-clothing items as well. But while they're doing the clothing, I'm able to spend my time working on these other categories, whether it's electronics, whether it's collectibles, whether it's any of those kind of things. So the clothing has to keep coming through, and the other stuff is then meant to be on top of it, because they're basically now doing what I was doing with the clothing, and I'm now working on top of that. So now we're getting two streams of stock going through, two streams of potential, I guess, income in that sense. It's all on the same store, all that jazz. But I hope that clarifies it for you. So the bread and butter is the clothing. That will continue to just be rinse and repeat, just endless cycle. And the other stuff that I work on is electronics, the collectibles, toys, video games, whatever. That is the next thing that I'm trying to really get into in a more consistent basis. Of course, I'm not going to be able to guarantee to be able to get this kind of quality of goods that I got from Old Man Collects and from Retro Rescuers on a regular basis, but if I can, I will. And that's really kind of the next level of building out the business, is I want to make sure I get my processes right per category, outsource it, and then continue on to the next one. So I'm still doing books, I'm still doing all that stuff, just doing it with a better plan and a better process, or a set of rules, if that makes sense. Yeah, so that's what I kind of wanted to address now. So long story short, got to get the goods. I will then start to process some of those goods, the clothing that is. I also have one of my best customers coming in person today to go through those goods of clothing. They actually, you know, I get them to do a bit of a handpick themselves, and that just helps with some of the cash flow. And then yeah, I'll probably just focus on pick, packing and posting and actually doing some more photos of some non-clothing items. So hope that makes sense. Anyway, let's get into the day.
Just got all this dropped off. Alright team, we are all set up. My customer client is coming in about 15-20 minutes. So I've got all of this now in here. Just to remind everyone that this isn't the way it's going to be. I've just got this set up this way for now as I progress the stock. I mean, the best thing that I can do in here is just literally start listing it all, and then I'll build this out. I mean, there's been a few questions around, wouldn't it be cheaper to have a warehouse? I want to address that. Gee, it's hot. So essentially, yes, but no. It'll be more efficient, but cost-wise, it's not there yet. For the size that I want to grow into, because usually I have to do a 2 to 3 year lease, I'm going to want a minimum of 100 square meters, but likely 200 square meters, 300. It has to have certain requirements that I want to meet those needs over 2 to 3 years. And financially, that's probably around $30,000 to $35,000 a year. So it's probably about $2,500 plus per month. At the moment, I'm spending $1,200 a month for these 3 units for about 90 square meters. So I could probably get something smaller short term, but most of the leases that I'm finding are of that longer term. And that's how I would like to do it, to grow into it, to give myself that option. There's a few other little plays that I have in mind when it comes to having a full warehouse and an office space and also a bit of reception. There's a few little things that I want to bring into the business for that, and that will open that opportunity. But moving into a warehouse can't be short term. So there is going to be some cost savings with the washing. Bring that in-house, that'll be passive. The cost will come down, probably save about $1,000 every 6 weeks, give or take. So we're almost at that 2,500. But it comes down to cash flow as well. I need to make sure that I'm doing a minimum of $20,000 every month for a good 3 months before I even start to entertain that conversation. So I think we're still probably early June, July would be the absolute earliest. And then I think as we progress into the new financial year, that's the main focus of getting into a warehouse with a longevity of 2 to 3 years. So that just answers that question. All right, it's been a good hour and a half, gone through all this stuff. All this, and well, he's now my mate, but my best customer as well. We spent some dollary dues, well, he spent some dollary dues, so I'm really grateful for that. I'm going to clean up this a bit. I'm going to have some lunch, and then I'm going to actually do some actual work. A bit tired now, but I need to take a bit of rest, and then I'll probably continue to do some of this stuff. I'm going to sort some of the clothing as well, get that prepped out ready for my photographer tomorrow. So yeah. All right, just doing the postage. Quick update, we've got 12 going out today. We're at 49,541, hopefully getting to that 50,000 this week. We've got cameras going out, we've got electronics, we've got this Saints Row jersey going out, which sold for 100 and something ridiculous, 175 plus postage. We've got more clothes. There's a Reselling shirt going out here, which has also gone for some big bucks. That one went for $109 and international postage. So solid day. I am exhausted. I'm going to get this postage done, and then whatever time left I have is do some work. I do actually have the opportunity to send some more product photos to another client. They're interested in wholesale tees, but we'll see. But get this done. Also got to go to my local post office and collect a whole bunch of materials and packaging and stuff. Of course, more costs coming into the business, but I do that quarterly, so it is what it is. Let's pack all this up. Let's do it. All right, so I've been sorting clothes into piles for my photographer tomorrow. That's all done. I've got to move this back into the upper storage unit, and I'm probably now going to prep some stuff so I have it ready to go for Thursday, because I'm not here tomorrow. On Wednesday, I've got a backpack for Vic Kids drop-off up to Wangaratta, and then I'm going to set up some stuff so I'm good to go from Thursday, so I can just come in and do photos. Alright, I'm about to leave, but here's all the stuff that's ready for Thursday for me. I've got some brand new sealed CDs, we've got some video games, we've got some books, more video games, we've got some Pokemon guidebooks, we've got sealed DVDs, we've got board games, we've got action figures, and a few other bits and bobs in there as well. So I'm going to pack up and get out of here. Folks, what's going on? Bit of a weird angle here, sorry, didn't really sit properly when I mounted it. Today is Thursday. We skipped Wednesday altogether because I had a road trip for Backpack with Big Kids, which went really well. So yeah, didn't do any I didn't do any business work actually, to be honest, all day. But my photographer was in yesterday all day and got stuff done, and then my lister was doing stuff. So that's the beauty of it. While I'm not there, things are getting done. So today, really just want to focus on getting more non-clothing items photoed. Just working my way through all the stuff that I've got over the last couple of weeks. I do need to do a video walkthrough of some wholesale shirts that I'm potentially selling to one of my customers. This is a wholesale lot that I do. I don't do this very often. I've got 2 customers. They're not even on eBay, they're off eBay, that I do some work with, and they don't buy all the time, but when they do, like the one that purchased early in the week, it's usually well worth it. So I'll do that. I've got a little bit of postage to do as well, which I'll show you when we get there. But really just working my way through a whole bunch of different collectibles and bits and bobs, and we'll see where we go. I do have a dinner tonight as well, catching up with Jason and John. We usually we used to do that almost on a monthly basis, but it's been a while, so we're catching up. And so I'll be basically at the unit all day till dinner, just really getting as much done as possible. I've also got 300 boxes in the back. I did my quarterly purchase of boxes. I do that for satchels and stuff as well, and I've got to take all them up, and good thing I got an extra storage unit because I got lots of boxes. So yeah, it's never a dull day. The photographer is in today, so they'll be doing stuff as well, which is great. They'll get some photos done, I'll get some photos done, everyone's happy. I've already done my listings. I was up at 5 o'clock, got that done, did a run, and here we are. It's running a little bit behind schedule because I was watching some videos on YouTube, actually some RuneScape videos. So I love playing RuneScape, old school RuneScape actually. Anyway, fun fact. Let's go to the unit. There's 300 boxes. All right, let's get this all opened up. So even though we're selling heaps at the moment, we're still not selling enough quick enough to make space. One thing that I have to do at some stage, I've just been delaying it, well, had a lot on. I do need to re-consolidate all this. There's some books in here that have been long sitters and they're just going. Kind of like what I did, end of last financial year, just got rid of heaps. So I'll be doing that again and making up some more space to bring more clothing into here. Ideally, I think what I'm going to end up doing is all of this will be clothing in the long run, like just this shop, and then like this unit, sorry, and then this will be all processing, and then this one will be anything non-clothing and additional storage for multi-skewed stuff and sorting and extra space. So that's probably the plan. Maybe that whole wall will be stock listed, and then the back will be whatever reason, and then this side will be, getting stuff like this and whatever. Still working that out. I've got time to figure that out too. We did go through and get, also I didn't, the photographer did a whole bunch of stuff yesterday, making work through the piles, which is great. I'm going to be getting cracked on this today. We've sold more of that today. I've got to pack that, and I've got to find a little home for this just while I'm doing doing stuff today. There is some pretty cool stuff in here. Anyway, I was going to show you something but can't find it, so maybe it's already in one of the other sections. I'm going to quickly get out all the stuff that I've got to post, and I'll take you through where we're at and what we're sending out today. So let's do this. All right, here we go. So we've got a total of 20 orders going out. We're actually on $49,997. I actually did get to 50,000 yesterday, but it hasn't stuck. So when I see that again, I will show you as soon as possible. It's a pretty cool little milestone to just, yeah, big pat on the back. We've got a lot of things going out today. I'll show you a few things as I'm packing them, but Planet of the Apes, vintage comics 1975, some Warhammer stuff. This one's gone out to Anthony, appreciate you, buddy. We've got some Matchbox cars or Hot Wheels, books, and lots of clothes, and a couple of jackets. And those jackets have gone for about $109 each, so not too bad. Big shout out to Grumpy Granny on the Reseller Roundup. Just got you playing in the background, so how you doing? Alright, here's a fun one going out, folks. You probably won't be able to see it too well, but I'll put it up on screen. This little Duke Nukem nuclear shirt. It sold within 12 minutes of me listing it. I don't know if I've done a boo-boo here, but I got a total of $85. That includes postage and international fees and stuff like that, over to Romania. So who would have thought? But I listed it yesterday morning at 5:07 in the morning, and then by, I think it must have been, yeah, 5:21, it was done, paid for, boom. They didn't even send an offer. So yep, anyway, it's crazy what sells. Quick little exciting update, folks. Literally just got a sale that has pushed us over to $50,037. Woohoo! Now to maintain it is the challenge. All right, folks, postage all done. I've had some lunch. Now I've got to solve for putting this somewhere, and then I'm gonna actually get into doing some photos. I'm gonna have to do a bit of a shuffle, I think, in here as well for all those boxes. Alright, we had some quick little changes. I haven't actually been doing any of the photos at the moment. My photographer's now gone, but we just actually spent a good 15-20 minutes just crunching out some brainstorming ideas around a few changes that are going to be happening here. And as I was telling you, that in this other storage, I've got to get it sorted in the right way. We're just planning the next steps, when, how, what it will look like, and this will be changing in the next couple of weeks quite radically. And that's what we were just working out, the different things that need to happen before I can get it to where I want it to be. So I'm going to, not doing this today, this is what I'm working towards. All of this is going to come out. All of this will just become all clothes. This whole unit will be pure clothes only, which means I'm going to need to get more shelving. This is going to be going into unit number 3, and anything that is non-clothing, which is with a skew of E, everything else basically will be living in here. This whole long side wall will be everything else. This side will be for new stock coming in, like what I've got here at the moment, and that will be for packaging. And then down the middle will be just enough space to be able to walk in and pull things out. Obviously, because this is not the only stock I have, I've still got consignments coming and a few other things. So the leapfrog in growth that I've seen in the last 3 weeks obviously has thrown things out of routine. So I'm going to have to kind of do a little bit extra to make this get into a bit of a flow. Because at the moment I'm listing all this or photoing all this, but I got nowhere to put it in terms of productively put it or efficiently put it. So I've got to make some big changes over the next week, and I'm getting a few little trolleys that will be helping us to get things in between just as temps. This will be changing as well. This is going to become the new packing station in here. At the moment it's just for storage, and it means anything that comes from that unit will go into here. Actually will sit right here, and then I'll be able to put things in and out. And anyway, you'll see that. I'm not going to explain that in detail. It's a bit complex. It's not really that complex, but I understand that me explaining it to you, you're not seeing what I'm seeing in my head. So I'll just, yeah, anyway. So I'm going to just take it easy at the moment. I've got to do a little bit of admin. I will probably try and take a few photos here and there just to get some stock moving, but really I'm trying to avoid doing too much because I am absolutely exhausted, and I need to just kind of slow down, because that's not going to help me achieve anything if I'm completely exhausted. So yeah, it's never a dull day, but this excites me. Gets me super motivated. I'm excited to be able to see what we can do in here. And I reckon within the next 3 to 4 weeks, this will be a new tight operation and it'll be great. And then we'll see what happens next. So I'm very happy. There's some cool stuff going out as well. We've got some pretty cool teas. These aren't high-end teas or anything, but good bread and butter. I didn't really pay super high for this, so I can just get them moving. Like even stuff like this, I would not normally pick this stuff up, would not normally sell it, but because of the low cost of goods, they're just going to help bring in some traffic to the store, and I can just move them quickly. Yeah, might still have stuff to show you, but I just need to take a moment to. All right, just figured I'd tell you that I'm off to the post office. Usually I have my my postie guy actually comes and picks it up usually, but he's actually out sick, so I'm just going to do a quick drop off at my close one to my storage unit, and then I'm going out for dinner. So happy days indeed. And just like that, it was Friday. So today I'm actually going to do the consignment pickup that I was meant to do last week when I went to Retro Rescuers. However, I didn't actually do it because we were so chockers and it was a bit late in the afternoon. We decided not to pick it up, so I'm going there to pick it up today. I don't have Carla with me, just myself. She actually has some training today. Yeah, so we're going to go pick up the consignment lot. I'm not sure how big, how small, all that jazz. And then going back to the unit and just continuing working, and got to do a pick, pack and post and just all those usual things. It's just me today, so hopefully I can get some photos done. I ended up doing a couple last night before I left, but yeah, if I can get a fair bit done today, just some easy stuff, quick wins just to top up for the weekend. However, I've got about probably about 120 items currently in my backlog of listings. I could start actually listing more per day, but I have to be careful with that because I have to get the timing right to make sure I don't outlist myself and I don't have any left. So we're just working towards that cadence to make sure that that's right. There's been a lot happening, so obviously haven't been able to get that additional throughput on top, but I'm still listing 25 per day. Actually, I listed a pair of boxer shorts this morning and they've sold, and they're all the way over to the US for, I think it was like 55 bucks. And sold another interesting shirt, which maybe I'll show you later. It's gone to Finland, so weird stuff happening, but I love it. Absolutely love it. Folks, all right, I've picked up the consignment, had a good chat with my my client as well, and this has been probably my biggest one that I've picked up of electronics. Last time was my biggest one. This one is even bigger. So it's a good problem to have. Now, the question you're probably asking is, Chris, why are you getting more stock when you have lots of stock? It's a very good question. No, but there is a level of this where I need to continue to make sure that I'm prioritizing my clients and, you know, those kind of customers, because I'm building that rapport, building that relationship. So I'm not going to have them call up and say, oh, I've got some stuff for you, and I'm going to say, yeah, no, I can't come. So I can hold on to it. I can actually process this stuff first and actually prioritize it over some of the collectible stuff, because there's no rush to get that moving. I've already started on that anyway, so that's really the focus there. Obviously a bit of a shuffle, you know, I have to go out of my way, whatever, but this is what I want, because it's a better problem to have really good stock and lots of it than not enough stock at all. So I'm very happy with this. It does also motivate me to think, well, if I'm going to keep getting this kind of volume, how do I process it quicker? What do I need to do? I've got processes in place. I've got things there ready to make that happen in terms of charging and all that jazz, but I'm running out of time with my own hands. Does it mean I need to get more hands? Does it mean I need to get more help? I don't know. I've got to figure it out, but these are all the things that are enabling that conversation to happen. So it's a big win for the day. Pretty cool, exciting week. Anyway, I've got to go to Bunnings. My chair at the shop broke yesterday, so got to get another couple of chairs, one for me and the worker, and might even grab a couple of extra portable tables as well. So grab that, and then I'll see you at the unit. All right, we're all set up. Got myself a cheeky little Sanger from Bunnings as well, just to give you guys a bit of an understanding of the electronics that I got. And this isn't everything, some of it's still in the van, but I just brought up the small stuff. Got a whole bunch of Macs, and then I've got all these buckets of probably better phones, and then I've got this whole big tub of parts only phones, which I've got to go through. It's a big store, but we've got everything in here from iPhones to old Nokias to like this crazy stuff. Sometimes there's usually iPods in here, old flip phones. Just I've got to go through all this process and make sure that all data's off it and all that crap as well. And then cameras and more phones. So a few little interesting ones there. That's a lot of fun. That's the most I've ever had. That is chockers. So that's that. I'm not doing any of that today. That's really just had to bring it up here. I've got to fit it into here somewhere. We're still planning this out. This will start to be worked on next week. Today my focus is purely just 1, have some lunch, 2, pick, pack and post, and then 3, I'll probably do some quick wins over here. Just get some things moving, processing, and yeah, so gonna have some lunch. This is a corned beef little sanger, and then I'm going to pick, pack and post. All right, we have only 9 items going out. We're on $50,442. Got some books going out. A fair bit of North Face. We got these Marvin the Martian boxes going overseas, international. They went for 58, I think it was, or 55. Then just really some bread and butter. There is another shirt in here. This is a Saints Row shirt that's going to Finland. That one went for $80. That includes postage and fees and things like that. And then just a few shirts. So nothing too crazy, but let's get this packed up and then go do some work. I figured just before I put all this stuff away, like all the electronics, I may just do a quick little high-level sort, and I'll show you what we've actually got here. We've got all Samsungs, there's all iPads or tablets, even found a Nintendo DS. These are all just older vintage phones, usually which can't be charged or tested because too many different batteries. These are all non-iPhone, non-Samsung phones, except for that one there, that's an iPhone. And then that's all iPhones, and then that's all cameras, and maybe some iPods and stuff in there as well. So a good variety. There's probably easily, there must be about 300 phones here, I reckon. A lot of these will go through another triage of essentially, you know, what's working, is it faulty, is it parts only, can it be refurbished, kind of thing. 3 or 4 different categories that I work with. That's for the iPhones and the Samsungs. For the other phones, I usually just give them a quick test. If they don't work, I don't even bother, because there's a lot more workarounds and fixes for these, like whether they're locked and all those kind of things. And I've got to go through and actually delete data and all that jazz. So it does take a bit of time. These ones usually just sells parts not working. And then these ones, but still I have to see if they're working, remove data, etc, etc. The cameras, same thing. If they work, I'll sell them working. If they're not working, parts only. Same with the Samsung and the tablets as well. So never found a DS in one of these tubs before, so that's pretty cool. That one should be a quick little $100. So that's all done. I'm going to get over to here and start doing some of these now. All right, we've been doing a few figures. We've done some video games, South Park stuff, some DVDs there at the back. A few other things. Now I'm going to get into some of these video game books actually. Just taking it easy, to be honest, because I've been pretty tired, but good to get some of these things done. Just quick wins and easy stuff to do. I think I'm pretty much done for the day. I've now put all those things away, managed to fit them in there, pulled out a few things that I'll be working on from next week actually, just some sealed video game strategy guides and stuff. Still got a fair bit of stuff under here. I've got a whole bunch of magazines. Still got more magazines under there, and I've got toy cars. Also got to do this little guy. That's just going to continue going bread and butter. And I don't know. Next week I might even start on some of the phones, some of the quick wins. But really, next week the goal is to start to work on this. Just trying to organize some hands to help make that happen a bit quicker, and then yeah, but I think I'm pretty much done. I'm a bit tired. Got to rest. Got to get a good 25 items to get added to the backlog, so I'm happy with that. As I said to you the other day, the other focus that will be happening next week is moving this into the other side and all that. So that's going to be a big challenge. There'll be also some culling of things, potentially of some books and some of these pop vinyls. I'll probably just start to move really quick and sell them and whatnot, just to make up some extra space and or make it easier moving some of this stuff. Might even start some of those sales on the weekend actually. And then all of this is just going to be clothing. There will be potentially some adjustments made here. I think there's some space opportunities to be made. And as I said, this guy is going to be turning into a bit of a movable postage shelving storage, so that if I'm picking stuff from the third unit, which is basically anything non-clothing, it basically gets put into this, and then I can grab it from this side, kind of just pull it through, pack it and put it back in. That's the goal, something like that. Anyway, we're working on a bit of the processes and how that will kind of look. Yeah, I think I'm done. I'm going to pack up and get out of here. It's Friday, why not take it easy? So there you go, another solid week. It's look, it's been very, very exciting and rewarding to be able to see the progress continue to happen on a day-to-day basis. And that's why I really wanted to keep sharing this. And I'm really enjoying this format and the feedback from all of you. I just want to say a really big thank you for those that have been reaching out and saying they've enjoying this process or the way that I'm documenting it. And it's been really cool to see and hit that milestone of $50,000 90-day total this week. And of course, that is not profit, that's revenue, but that's paying for 2 staff members. It's giving me a little bit of coin, and it's also paying for all the storage, and it's paying for my overhead and things like that. So it's been really, really encouraging to see that come to life. I can't believe we're already at the end of March, and it's crazy to think how quickly we've jumped through March, but it's also exciting to be able to reflect because we're already ahead of what I achieved in February, and February was my best month yet. So March is already planning to size up to be a bigger month. And before we get into the numbers and all that, I just wanted to kind of come back and talk about some of the lessons from this week. And, you know, I think this week has been a prime example of the growth and how it really does impact working in the business versus working on the business. And I've been talking about this over the last couple of weeks, and having that unit change at the start of the week where they said, look, I'm able to move to the one next to me, that's been brilliant. It's been so good, but it also took a lot of time. It means I had to take time away from doing things that's going to continue to grow the business and just react to it in that point in time. And sometimes we have to do that, right? And we have to look at it, well, doing that at that point in time is going to enable the business for the longevity or for the next period of whatever the growth stage is, because now I can be more efficient and productive. But there is still a few constraints with this, is we need to find a way to make those 3 units productive as possible, which will probably start from next week and the week after, and we'll start to bring that to life. But, you know, I think we really need to make sure that we're spending and prioritizing our time juggling the efforts between growth demand while maintaining core operations of the business. And that's what I've had to do. In this period of time, it really does stretch and it pulls me in multiple directions, and it's really taxing, like it's really tiring as well, but it's very, very rewarding. And I think some of the key things that I wanted to make sure I call out for anyone, just in case you did jump to the end and you didn't watch the whole video, is, you know, this week was really important to be able to spend the customer and client development time, meaning seeing my suppliers, seeing my wholesalers, working with some of my vendors and some of the customers that are on my ongoing, I guess you'd call it Rolodex or ongoing agreement. And it's important we build those relationships and we continue to thrive in those ongoing, you know, financial or business relationships. And, you know, this is important because we need to show face, and I still need to do it with some others. It's just been so busy and so hectic, but that is really key and important to make sure that you are keeping up those appearances. And the other thing is enabling the business flow. You know, realizing that the growth is happening is good, and, you know, actualizing that and putting it into play is even better. But unless addressed and contained, it will mean less productivity. And what I mean by that is, as I said, the growth is coming, but we need to make sure that it's well maintained. Otherwise, I'll get overwhelmed, I'll get overworked, and it creates a little bit of chaos. So having to spend the time to plan, prepare, and create the systems of flow is going to provide a longer term output, which means I have to prioritize what I do with my time and when I'm doing it, which is actually why it's so important that I have my staff member doing, you know, the photos of the clothing and the list of doing that, because I'm still getting stuff coming through daily on a daily basis, and I can focus on getting these other things up to speed. And as I said, it can be very, very taxing from time to time in the now, but it's going to be very, very important to enable and maximize the business in the long term. So that's my lessons and takeaways for the week. Let's talk dollars. It's been another solid week. At the time of me recording this, I'm seeing another 4 to 5K range. That's where I'm landing. At the actual point in time, you know, I'm about $4,300, but I'm going to put up on screen where I actually ended at the time of me editing this video. And it was probably a little bit different again, because by the time you're seeing this, it's usually 12, 15 hours, or actually it's even longer than that, probably 20 hours after I actually edited it. So just to keep that in mind. And just to be clear, I wanted to actually kind of give people a bit of a perspective of this week, where the revenue is still coming from. And as you can see, clothing is still my majority driver. I've been having some really good collectibles, I've been having some really good stuff come through the store, but the clothing is still the main driver of that revenue, just being supplemented with all these other categories. In terms of how we're progressing for the month, last week, this is what I showed you where we were at around the 17th of March, and you know, we were doing pretty good. I also then this week had more payroll occur, I've had some more expenses occur, had more postage supplies occur, a lot of different things occur, and we've jumped down from a net profit perspective, but we're actually still in the positive, pretty good. Revenue is still growing, and you know, this, as I said, it includes the cycle of wages. There's been a few additional expenses and things like that. So look, things are moving quick, things are going well. This is shaping up to be my best month again. On track at this point in time to probably land on the $20,000 mark, which is one of my goals for this year, was to hit a $20,000 month, and we're already, you know, hitting it potentially for March. Obviously can't bank the dollars until we've done it, but that is very encouraging and very rewarding. So next week is going to be interesting. We're moving into a shorter week with the long weekend of Easter. I've got some big things coming by the end of the week, but you'll have to stick around till next week to see what happens in that episode. So I really do appreciate you being here. If you've got any questions, comments, chuck them down below. Otherwise, you have a wonderful day. Cheers.